This is Randy Rosetta with HubCpreps.com with the Eagle Exchange, first edition of January. I'm with a couple of the Lubbock Christian boys basketball players, Welker Horn and Edwin Speegle, talking about district finally open. I think you guys might be the last team that's actually getting district play started, which that's okay. You guys have had a grind of a schedule. And Welker, for you, both of you guys coming off of football, but what's it been like to get back to kind of get comfortable with everybody again, Welker, and to kind of grow together as a basketball team?
I think it's been great having a fantastic football season, getting to grow with those guys. But I think coming to a basketball roster with a lot of spots now have decreased. So you're going from 65 guys to 12 guys. You know, building relationships is very important, and it's been so fun through the non-district and tournament season with these guys.
And this is a fairly new basketball crew too. You guys lost some guys off that team. You added some guys, including the one to your left, Edwin. When I met you, you were wearing a blue uniform, but a different color blue. You were over at Friendship, and I know you had made a splash there. You kind of carved a spot there. But coming over here, what's the adjustment been like for you? What have you kind of found that you like, that you fit in well with?
I think that just more togetherness. Like obviously at Friendship, the culture there was really good too, and I got a lot out of it. But here is a stuff I needed to more of a family, and that everyone on the team is just each other's back. There's no ego. We don't care who does this, who does that. As long as we get the job done at the end, that's what it's about, and getting closer with each other.
And I mentioned you stepped into a program that had a lot of spots open, a lot of minutes to fill up because they lost some guys. What do you think your role is? I think I talked to you about this before after one of your games. What do you think your role is right now with this group?
Say just being a leader first most, because a lot of the guys we have in the varsity and JV are really young and not the most experienced, but just us too, leading them right and making sure they're on the right path so we can have the most success as a team. And I'll say just a game standpoint, just do anything I can to win, whether it's guard the best player, score, play make, all that I can do. So just want to help the team win any way I can.
Now, Welker, not all you guys are new, and one guy who didn't get to finish out the football season, this is something you got familiar with last year, but was able to come back and play basketball, Hayes Lubbock. How nice has it been to get him back, not just for what he can bring as a player, but what he brings as a leader and as a person to the basketball program?
It's been great. Truly heartbroken for Hayes of what happened earlier this year with football, but it has truly been a blessing to have him on the court and side by side with Edwin and I. He's just a phenomenal leader. His playmaking abilities, he makes all the decisions on the court as a point guard. So it's been a big blessing to have him back on the court, and very exciting to get to play with him.
And I mentioned you had to miss part of your football season as junior and then came back, so you kind of went through that. How hungry does that make a guy? How you can see that when Hayes plays, just the motivation is there. How hungry do you feel like he is for you guys?
Yes, very, very hungry. To have the grit to come back, you're itching at it. You just want to go compete with your guys, with your friends. So I bet he's been wanting to get back out on the court, and I bet he's had a lot of fun.
I bet his parents probably had to hide some things from him at home to make sure he wasn't out there testing it too much. I bet that your dad may have had to hide a football from you a time or two when you were going through rehab. Who are some guys that have, some younger guys, Edwin's a new guy who's jumped in, but who are some younger guys that have jumped in there, Edwin, that since you've gotten to know him, they've kind of caught your attention?
Say Jackson. He has incredible work ethic both in football and basketball, and helped the team tremendously. And another young guy is Peyton McQuaig. Every game he might not play as much, but he is always bringing the energy, the positive vibes. So I think those two really help our team.
Piggyback on that, Welker, because you've known a lot of those young guys through different sports since you've been here. Who are some guys that have kind of caught your attention?
Peyton McQuaig, Ian Martinez, Cole Hawley, three guys that give phenomenal effort out on the court. They're culture guys. They want to make each other better. They make the people around them better. So it's been great to have them.
You both mentioned guys who don't necessarily get into a ton of games, but are probably pretty vital in practice, which when you're rebuilding a team, when you're filling spots like you guys have had to, those guys in practice have to be big. that may be a little bit different from football to basketball, Welker, that those guys maybe aren't playing now, but they're a twisted ankle away or a hamstring away from being out there. How much does that kind of make you respect what they're doing when they know they have to be locked in, even if the playing time's not there necessarily?
Yes, sir. We've always talked about we can't control the opponent. Every week's a nameless faceless opponent, but some of the best teams that we're going to play is ourselves in practice. So it's just good to have those guys around, having them practice with us because they know it's one rolled ankle away for them stepping out on the court. So it's very important to them, very important to us varsity guys that those guys compete hard and practice well.
Yeah, and you're going to play if you're in the 10-man, 12-man rotation for Coach Softly, you're going to play because of the way he does things. Edwin, how much does that kind of push competition and kind of drive you guys in practice? You know, Coach does almost like the hockey shift thing where it's 4 or 5 guys coming in at a time.
I'd say one he implements going full speed, everything you do, maxing out, and that translates to the game really well. And then also when you do like scrimmages or anything of that sort, everyone is competing, everybody's going 100% because they know that either one rolled away, like ankle away, or like say like someone fails a class or etc. You can step in and step up and play good on the team.
So I mentioned that district play starts. Where are you guys at, Welker? What do you feel like you're where you need to be right now, or there's still some things you guys need to sharpen up on as you start to head towards the first finish line of the regular season?
Yes, sir. I think growth is each and every day. You're going to continue to get it better. I love where our team is at, physically, mentally, but district or not, we're going to go give it our best. The district, it doesn't scare us in a way that it's district and we're going to add pressure onto ourselves. No, we're going to go out there, do what we do best, and it's a nameless faceless opponent.
Edwin, one thing coming from Friendship to Lubbock Christian that you didn't have to adjust to too much is these guys expect to win, expect to do things, expect to get to the playoffs and make some hay when they get there. How easy has that been? How easy has that part of your transition been?
I just like really enjoy that they're both competitive, like that here, like you really want to do well, everything you do, and I really appreciate that. It's been a little harder because I had to like have more accountability, and for every little thing I do, whether it's like in the classroom, weight room, playing the sports, I gotta like not rely on other people like to help me steer straight. I gotta do stuff like make sure I'm doing the right things every day. So I just really appreciate the culture here and the competitive side it brings.